Talk and Power, your motorsport and motoring radio show. Now on 88.5 FM, The Valley Comes Alive. And podcasting across iTunes and talkandpower.com.au.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Talk and Power podcast, and we're back with our good friends at Targa West. I'm joined with Todd Brinkworth over here, and we've got Ross Tapper over there on Zoom. Thanks for joining us, Ross.
Thanks, guys. Good to be back again. And yeah, the year goes very quickly, doesn't it? Just looks like the other day that we were talking about the event, and we're back here again.
Yeah, that's right.
It was a very exciting event last year, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed a number of the stages, and I know the year has gone past very quickly. And hey, we're grateful that you can make the time to come on, because I know we're literally only 2 and a bit weeks away from the start date. Before we get started, tell us, what's new in 2021? What have we got to look forward to this year in terms of new?
We just keep trying to improve what we're doing.
Yep.
From a competitor's point of view, we're throwing in another running the Wanneroo stage a third time. Up at 2J, we're going back to running the race course and 2J stages back the other way. And otherwise, we're pretty much similar to what we've been running before.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the Ellenbrook stage on the Thursday night, the crew up the Ellenbrook Community Collective doing an amazing job to get bits and pieces up there. We're going to be, the D1WA drift cars will be up there as well. So they've always been, as you know, they're up at Malaga. This year they'll be not drifting, but it's probably not the right thing to do in the middle of a metro area, but we do it under controlled way. They'll be doing donuts on a number of the intersections to entertain the crowd. So it'll be something different and a hell of a lot of fun.
Well, while we're talking Ellenbrook, because I had it in my notes here, that was a real special stage last year for us, because Todd and myself, we were there at the 88.5 FM stand as well, and we had a really good close-up view of the cars, and it was a great event. Tell us, for those that haven't been to Ellenbrook, the special stage on the Thursday night, so we're talking Thursday the 16th of September, head on over to Ellenbrook. I mean, it's not very difficult to find, because if you head to Bunnings, it's basically happening behind Bunnings.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about that event. That in itself is an event on its own, really, isn't it?
Oh yeah, like to run these super special stages, what we call them in our sport, they quite often take up just as much time and effort to put together as the rest of the rally sort of thing. So with Targa West, we run that one. We run the one on Malaga Sunday morning, and of course the big one in the city. So a lot of work goes into them, and this has all come about by the Ellenbrook Community Collective to kept on badgering us to say, come and do something in Ellenbrook. And no, we tried it a few years ago, and I get a bit of a kick out of the fact that our officials start coming to us and saying that they get hassled by too many spectators. And I go, well, we don't very often get grizzles about the fact that we have too many spectators in rallying. So yeah, literally get overrun, as you say, the back of Bunnings down to the Ellenbrook shopping centre, through that area. And it's the new railway station will be there in a couple of years' time. So not sure what we'll do then, but at the moment it's a nice little area and a good little stage, and a lot of people come out. We estimate about 5,000 people come out to watch the stage, so it's a good fun evening.
Yeah, I actually reckon it's probably more. Last year, I reckon there were thousands just up on that.
People like you to tell me what's out there. So
I don't think 5,000. I think you're really selling it a fair way short there, Ross. When we were at Ellenbrook last year,
it was huge.
I reckon there was probably just 3,000 people in that immediate vicinity where we were. So I don't know. I think But anyway, I'm going to be there. Todd will be there as well. We're certainly looking forward to the Ellenbrook stage on Thursday night. So I urge all of our listeners on 88.5 to head there as well. There's a number of other events to get to for the Thursday, the Friday, and the Saturday, and the Sunday, of course. But just wanted a special shout out there. Hey, Ross, while we're talking about things that are new, any new entrants for this year as well?
No, because no, we haven't got anyone coming from over east, but we do have a very, very strong field. Like there'll be 64 cars have entered, and like the top three from last year, Mark Greenham made a last minute, like the last day he entered on. He says, "Oh, look, I can't sit back and not be in this event." He wanted to put his time and effort into his business, and it crumbled at the last minute and put an entry in. So he'll be back. Will White and Jeff Foster, who came first, second, and third last year, are back. But of course, you then got Peter Rawlo and Mark Cates and David Heaton, Dennis Heller. So it's a fairly strong field at the front end. So I reckon it'll be one of the strongest fields we've had in Targa West. So Steve Jones, of course. Jonesy would kill me if I didn't mention him, because he's spent since telling everybody he's going to win. So
you beat me to it, Ross. I was about to say, you better mention Steve.
Yeah, and I think he's won it 5 times. So he's coming back to show everybody how good he is. And that's really good. Like it's just going to be a full-on 4 days of hot competition at the top end of the field.
Yeah. Hey, Ross, I must say some pretty good promo work from some of your entrants as well. I don't want to name drop too much here, but I was at the Darren Field Days last week. Car number 7 was at the Darren Field Days. That was Peter Burgess and Mark Eisenhower. I think that's how you say his surname. They actually had their car up at the Darren Field Day. So that's some great promotional work that was exposed to, I don't know, 15, 16,000 people over 2 days. So that hats off to those guys that are doing that, allowing, there's an Audi R8 from memory. I'm pretty sure it was their Audi R8. Yeah. And leaving it at an agricultural field day. I mean, it was looked after, obviously, but it's still, a big ask for them to get their car only 2 weeks beforehand to a field day. So I thought that was pretty special.
We've also got, they're putting their car into the T4 terminal at Perth Airport, and we've got another one. Mark Cates he's another one who's an outright winner. His car's going into T2 at the Perth Airport next week. And even though we're not got any interstate people flying in, but we've got a lot of FIFOs go in and out. So very thankful to the Perth Airport for that promotion. So guys do get right behind us to make sure that this event's well promoted. Yeah,
certainly. While we're doing special shout outs, this is one that's kind of slipped under the radar. I just want to shout, we interviewed Brad Wern, I think that's how you say his name, and Karen quite a few episodes ago, Targa Southwest, they were down there. Their son Matt won gold for sailing in the in Japan for the Olympic Games. So special shout out to them as well. I know they're fierce competitors in Targa West in previous years as well. So I think that was
not having a run this year, but Brad and his wife and his son swap co-driving on different events, but they're good supporters of Targa West, and it's great to see their other son succeed in his sport.
Yeah, most certainly. Ross, tell us, it was a bit of a shout out a few weeks ago looking for volunteers. How are you positioned there in terms of volunteers? Are you still looking for more volunteers?
Definitely. That's probably our hardest part of the job between now and the event. We've got over 200 registered already, but we need to get over 400. So we're a long way to go there. So if anyone can help out, if they can get onto targawest.com.au, click on the officials button and work through the steps. If we've got a new online system, or they can just go onto a more simpler system. But if they can get in there and register, it would be really, really appreciated.
For the uninitiated, I'll call them. Tell us, Ross, what's involved in volunteering, and just explain to them that how close they can get up to the action by volunteering.
Yeah, the biggest number of people we need people for is the road closures, and it's a fairly simple thing. It's effectively just put some tape across the road and park your car halfway across the road so that the public can't come through. We do have traffic management further behind that, so the normal metal road closed signs that you'll see They're all around on the main entrances and into the estates. We do promote it out through all those estates with flyers and promotion, and signs go up. So no, it's not a hard job. All we need to do is get out there, meet our team leaders on the stages, be taken out to where their road closure is, and spend 3 hours watching the event go past, and ask the public not to drive out on the stage, of course, because it's something we just can't have.
Yeah. No, certainly.
I was about to say, I think it's some of the best times I've ever had, Ross. I've done it a few times now and helped out, and actually sort of go and take photos at road closures and end up being at a road closure helping out. And you get to chat to people, watch the cars close up, and you meet some interesting people. I've actually made friends that I now see at events, and it's like, oh, we did the road closure together. Yeah, it was really good, wasn't it? And it's a good way to get amongst it without getting amongst it just yet.
And it's pot luck of who you're going to get at your spectator point, or a road closure point. It might be nobody, it might be a few people, it might be a few houses just wander down the road to have a look and potentially bring down a bit of lunch or something and feed them. Like a number of officials talk about the fact that they were lucky enough to have a spot where the locals came down with their small barbecue and cooked sausages while they watched the rally go past. So, there's some amazing stories come out, and of course the locals get out there and they'll take a lounge chair down in their front paddock, or they'll put a crane up in the sky so they can get a better view in their own grandstand. So all sorts of stories come back to what goes on in Targa West.
Yeah. No, and I concur, Todd. I know last year we went to 2J as well, and it was a road closure, but it was also a spectator point as well. It served as both, and you can get up really close and personal with the cars as well, and from a safe distance, of course. But I really enjoyed it actually, and I know a number of people that are getting around to the road closures, so it's awesome. Hey, Ross, just tell us a bit I'll just walk through the dates here. So Thursday, the 16th to the 9th, we kick off at the Supreme Court Gardens in the city. Then we head out to Whiteman Park. Then it's Wanneroo Raceway, and then the Allenbrook Special Stage. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yep. So start at 11:45 at Supreme Court Gardens, which is a new start location for us. Forest Place is not available this year, so it'll be nice and photogenic in the middle of the park there. It's a nice part of Perth. It's a beautiful part of Perth, Supreme Court Gardens. Then Friday, it's Parkerville, Mundaring, and the Kalamunda. Then it's the Northbridge Show and Shine, which is one of my, even though it's not no racing in Northbridge, I really love the Friday night feel in Northbridge, where all the cars are parked up along Lake Street and James Street as well. Yeah, so we've got Parkerville, which is this is the third year that we've been running it. And it's only a small stage, relatively small stage, but the competitors absolutely love it. And a lot of the locals come out and spectate on that stage. And of course, the iconic Kalamunda stage we call along Mundaring Weir Road that we run twice in each direction, plus up and down, just up the zigzags. And a lunch break in the middle of Kalamunda. The city of Kalamunda supports us before we go to the Forestfield Shopping Centre for a service. And then into Northbridge, and you say getting all the 50 plus cars in there and lots of people and plenty of places to eat at whatever level you wish to choose. And it's a good opportunity for, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a good opportunity for fans to get up close and personal with the cars, but also talk with the drivers as well. I know a number of the drivers and co-drivers go and have something to eat, but a lot of them will stay with the car as well and come back and you can have a chat with them. I met Jim Richards, had photos with Jim Richards many years ago now, it was maybe 10 years ago. Where can you do that? And this was in the middle of Northbridge with his car, how great was that? Oh, that's right. It's good. Many of the competitors just absolutely love showing off their cars and talking about their cars, and it's a great atmosphere in there. So we're in there from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. So come down and grab a bite to eat in Northbridge, chat to the drivers and crews, and have a look at some nice cars. You're going from a late model, current model Porsche through to a 1964 Mini. So there's plenty to see of variety, whatever you not like looking at. Yeah, definitely.
Saturday, the 18th to the 9th, we head off to 2J, which is huge. I love 2J. The 2J stages there. There's quite a few of them there. And then off to Bullsbrook as well. So I haven't missed anything there, have I, Ross?
Yeah, Lower Chittering or Maryville stage.
Yep.
That's our longest stage of 20 kilometres. So, and about 25 intersections. So there's plenty of activity to keep the competitors sorted out. And that's when it gets to the crunch point. After 2.5 days, a long drive over from Julimar Road over to Lower Chittering and down into Bullsbrook, and long stages getting late into the day. So that's where the fitness kicks in, and those have looked after their tyres to make sure they're fully ready to tackle those big stages before they go into the Bullsbrook Light Industrial Area late afternoon for a service to get ready for the finale on Sunday.
Yeah, okay. All right. And speaking of this finale on Sunday, it's the Malaga Superstage as well. Did that a few years ago. I really loved that too. That was a great event. And then you finish off at Langley Park, which is also obviously, speaks for itself.
Yeah, Langley Park, apart from the fact that Targa West finishes up there at about 3:30. But in the morning, we've got the Targa City Sprint, which is for drivers only. It's a completely separate event. 60 cars entered in that. There's a celebration of motorsport on Langley Park that's got a full range of cars and bikes and buggies and go-karts and a lot of activity going on there. We've got the Viper wheeling machine where you can go do a wheel stand on a motorbike that's on a rolling wheel. So you don't actually drive it down the road. Plus the Harley Davidson wheelie group. Supermotos activity, plus the racecraft are there with the simulators, 96 FM with their big screens, plenty of food and action going on, heaps of cars. And over on the riverside is the Challenge Classics on the park where 200 odd cars will be along the edge of the river. So plenty to see and plenty to enjoy from both activity on the roads and a lot of static displays and stuff you can be part of.
Oh, most definitely. The Sunday stage. The Sunday is probably one of my favourites as well. Now, Ross, one thing we always hammer home on the podcast here about Targa West, spectating is free. So I can't drive that message home clear enough for all of our listeners. Head out to any of these events. It's free, and it is top end motorsport. It really is. It's probably one of the. I always say it's the pinnacle of motorsport in Western Australia.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is, and very fortunate to have our sponsors in Healthway, City of Perth, Shannon's, Midland Toyota, who they sponsor us because it's a free event. They understand that by getting behind us that we can put these events on and invite the public to come down and whether you're a car enthusiast or like being out in the country and enjoy a bit of motorsport. It's a great weekend. Some people follow it for 4 days and others will pick the stages that they've got the time to go to, but plenty of activity and things for people to be part of, and finishes up on Langley Park with a multitude of things to see and do. Yeah.
No, it's a magnificent event. Ross, can I ask a question? When you, on the Sunday night or Monday morning after Targa, do you just take a sigh of relief? What's the feeling like when it's all said and done?
Exhaustion. After we've done all this competition, we then have a dinner for over 300 people at the Hyatt Hotel. So, yeah. So if you said to anyone, would you organise a dinner for 300 people, most people would back off and say, no way. Well, that's just another thing on top of it. So it's our presentation, our gala dinner, supported by the City of Perth, and the Hyatt look after us. But it's a big night, so we don't get to bed until 1 o'clock on Sunday night by the time we've kicked everybody out and cleaned up a bit. And then Monday's packing it up, and then Tuesday or Wednesday we go and drive the stages just to make sure all the tape and the tags and any bits and rubbish or signs that may have been left behind are picked up, taken away and cleaned up, and hopefully no one even knows we've been there. Come Wednesday night, there shouldn't be anything out there that shows that we've been there.
I've got to be honest with you. The Thursday night stage, I hung back for quite a considerable amount of time on the Ellenbrook stage last year. I actually went into McDonald's in Ellenbrook to get something to eat. Then when I was leaving, I actually went through there. And honestly, this is no word of a lie. You couldn't tell that a Targa rally had just been through town. It was packed up within literally hours that night.
Yeah, like if you think that, like on that Ellenbrook stage, it's not until there's a bits and pieces go in, the fencing and toilets and all that sort of stuff arrives early, but roads get closed at 4:30 and they're open by 9 o'clock at night. So the guys get there, they put out all the fencing, all the barriers, all the tape, to put up the lighting towers. We compete for 2 hours and then it's all pulled down, put away, and then we move on to the next stage the next day. So that goes on for 4 days of shutting down roads, competing on them, cleaning up, opening up the roads, and move on. So terrific group of people, and that's why we need 400 plus officials to make it happen. Yeah,
I can understand that. All right, Ross. Well, look, we'll let you get back to organising, and we really appreciate your time. And shout out to David Smith as well. I know he couldn't make it tonight on the podcast, but we appreciate everything you guys do for us. I know you, whenever we ask, you're on there straight away, and we really appreciate the time you give us. All right, Ross. Well, look, we'll end this podcast on that note, and we really appreciate your time. All the best, and we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, thanks, Ross.
Good on you. Thanks, guys.
Take care.
It's out.
Okay, Talking Power podcast, episode 119. It was great to have Ross Tapper on there, give us a bit of a preview into Targa West 2021. It was great to have him on once again. And we got in the studio. He's joined us, Simon Gonzo Travellini.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
No, it's all right. It's all good. He's right over there. Got Todd Brinkworth here. We're on 88.5 FM where the Valley comes alive, and also podcasting on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from.
Yeah, that's right.
And YouTube as well. But tell us about YouTube, because I don't know, we're not that big on YouTube, so I don't know if we should persist. Our numbers are much bigger as an audio, not visual.
Yeah, we need to do some YouTube stuff like car builds and stuff like that, and we keep saying it. There's some stuff in the works with because
I've got one for you.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
I've got, we keep ranting on about this EV stuff. I've got enough stuff lying around to build an EV.
You've had enough stuff lying around to build an EV for a long time.
Yeah. It's even actually my brother's stuff. But
even before EVs were cool.
I think we should do it.
Not cool,
we should do a backyard built EV.
What a Camry?
No, I was thinking, well, apples for apples, right? Okay, so I'm pretty sure that this is like a 100 horsepower Curtis motor.
Yeah.
Right? So my buggy has got about, I don't know, similar horsepower, maybe less, maybe more. I'd just like to do a back-to-back comparison. We know how quick it runs with the petrol motor. It's like 14 something.
Yeah.
That'd be
Can you
interesting.
get the weight layout right, though, with the motor and batteries?
I don't know. We'd have to find out. I just want to bolt the motor, like take the Volkswagen one out and bolt the electric.
Now, for those
That's a
listening,
fair
for
comparison.
those listening at home, I think someone's mentioned it once or twice on the show, but I mean, I have fond memories of this car, and I think I've said this before. Your yellow beach buggy, correct?
Yeah, it's still going.
Yeah, it is one of my favourite
Beautiful
cars.
little car.
I have always offered to buy it off Simon one day.
It's very old.
Yeah.
It's like its owner.
No, it's a beautiful car.
I love
It's
it.
falling
Yeah,
apart
really.
like its owner,
Well, that's what's cool.
It's got cracks.
Not an EV, but EVs
Is it
are cool.
is it a Manx shell or is it?
It is a Manx.
Yeah, there you
it
go.
is a
See?
genuine, 100% genuine Manx.
So yeah, for those playing at home,
Dave's is also a genuine
Dave's
Manx.
is a Manx too.
One-
yeah, look at it
100%.
for a Manx. Actually, it was on there on a TV show called The Grand Tour. I think we can say that. They
Yeah,
I
bought.
don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah,
they did have three
They
buggies
bought.
in there, but
One of them was a genuine Manx. They drove across the beaches in somewhere I can't remember right now. But yeah, so there you go. But yeah,
anyway, I think that would be like if we just unbolt the Volkswagen motor,
Yeah.
bolt in the electric motor, put batteries somewhere in the front. I would imagine.
There's plenty of room in the front, really. isn't
Take the
there?
fuel tank out.
Yep.
oh, you probably would get the weight balance right, wouldn't you?
I don't know.
That'd be something pretty
I'll
cool.
wait to find out. But I think it's comparable power just to see what it runs down the quarter.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we should. And what, chuck it on YouTube is your idea.
Oh, we'd do the whole build. We'd do the
There you
conversion.
go. Look.
Backyard, proper style backyard conversion.
Yeah.
I mean, because everyone's got milling machines and plasma cutters and lathes in their backyard, haven't they? It's 2021, please.
Yeah, sure.
Of course they do.
Mine's some other backyard.
Tigs and pipe benders. Anyway.
It's I don't know how we'd segue from that into Formula One.
I think the buggy would have gone around the track just about as fast as those Formula One cars were.
Yeah, there's your segue.
What an absolute debacle. What a debacle.
Yeah.
To call 2 laps of a race.
Yeah.
What's happened to the world? Are we
Not happy, Nick?
Are we that greedy? Are we that greedy that we had to call a race and to do that so that way you don't have to do refunds?
And listen. You know, like I said in the break, okay? As long as Hamilton didn't win, it was a good outcome.
No. We've just left the best track in the world.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me rephrase that. The best track on the Formula One calendar.
It's not.
Yeah, you're right. It's not the best track, but it's the best on the Formula One calendar.
No, not even on the Formula One calendar.
Which is better
We
on the
have this
Formula One
argument
calendar.
every time. Monaco.
Thank you.
No, that's
Thank
no,
you.
No.
Where else do you get to drive like through a tunnel?
Yeah, and past Princes and...
No.
Have you seen the actual size of Monaco, the road?
No,
And
I've
they
been
have
there.
they have
I've
the
driven-
vintage Grand Prix after.
Yeah.
It's
I've driven
killer.
on
It's
the
awesome.
track. I've been there.
Oh, so you're on up on me. I never got there.
Yeah, no, I've been there. But my point is, this is a racetrack, not some. Road.
Okay, so race track, not the... If Monaco's a street circuit, there we go.
No. Anyway, we just left the best track
Yep.
on the Formula One calendar, and we raced 2
Climate
laps
change,
there.
Nick. It's climate change. Blame it on climate change.
I can't believe it.
Ring up Greta. Tell her this is a debacle. You called it a debacle?
A debacle.
A debacle.
Typical. Yeah.
This is a debacle. We need to resolve this climate change so we never have that happen to Spa again.
Stefano Domenicali, CEO of Formula One now, Michael Massey. I mean, they are hiding behind the fact that it wasn't their call. These are the rules. This is what we're going to do. I understand that.
But isn't there meant to be like a 6-lap minimum or something?
No,
Sure.
Two. They can.
I know
run
they
2.
only did 2, but I was sure there was something like a 6-lap.
It's all about not refunding people their money. Or why couldn't they race today? If you can't race today, I get that. Like schedule might not allow them to race today on the Monday, the day after. Was what I'm referring to there.
No, I think most of the trucks are packed up and are going to the next circuit already, from what I saw.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Then give the people their money back.
On the Friday.
Yeah, pretty much.
Give the people their money
Before
back.
the
then.
race.
Yeah.
If the schedule doesn't allow you to race the day after, I get that.
Yeah.
They actually weren't.
NHRA, drag racing across the world, you race on the Monday. If you can't get the job done on the
Yeah.
No,
Saturday,
sorry, Nick. We don't in Australia. We don't do that.
sometimes we do.
No, we don't.
Sometimes
When have we done it?
We get the
Not-
the event done.
When we
the event
don't.
gets done.
No, we don't. Sometimes we run it at the next event. Sometimes it disappears into the ether.
I know, but you know what
Sometimes,
I mean.
even if the event has been run, it disappears into the
NASCAR, we run it the day after.
MotoGP, they delay it.
Yeah.
We saw a good one. Was it last year? The year before, where it was delayed by about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Well, they waited 2 hours last night.
Yeah.
More.
That's
almost,
right, yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, this is all about the dollar. They didn't want to refund those people, their fans, their money. That's
Yeah.
all it is. Sorry, it's greed.
Will those fans be back next year?
You read my mind. I was about to say, I reckon this is the pinnacle of a few people going, really?
I think it's left a lot of people pissed off.
Yeah.
Well,
They were
Listen.
standing in the rain, these people.
I tell you what, right? If you made the decision not to go to Spa and go to watch the MotoGP, you wouldn't be disappointed.
Well, they were,
Over in England there.
Those lucky people are at Silverstone, which is
Silverstone.
another. You know what? It's up there with. It's not as good as Spa, but I put it up there. I like Silverstone.
Technical track, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Technical track. Really brings out the rider. You know, I mean, obviously horsepower is going to have an advantage anywhere, but there, you know, the rider really is the guy who's got what it takes is going to win that race. And we saw that We saw that, didn't we?
It was a bit of a... Can we just talk, before we get into the race itself, let's talk about the shake-up in MotoGP. You made a good point here in your notes. What a crazy...
What a crazy week.
Like,
What a crazy week.
I woke up one morning and I see that Vinales is off to Aprilia. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So you guys know about the Rev Limited Incident?
No, you need to talk about that.
Yeah.
All right, so there's video footage of him bouncing it off the limiter like he's a LS1 driver in a burnout comp. Going down the back straight. This is kind of like he's pulled out of the race. He's just driving back to the pits, more or less. And, it was alleged that he was trying to blow the motor up. Now, whether he was or not, I don't know. It didn't look good. And that led to him being suspended. And then not long after, he comes forward and says, he wants to thank everyone at Yamaha, but we're parting company. Yamaha says, it was a mutual agreement. Mate, it was hours later that he's got a seat at Aprilia.
I know.
And poor old Alex Espargo, who's been working his butt off to get that bike. You've got to understand those guys. You look at the success of KTM and Suzuki, right? KTM in particular, from nothing to winning races, right? Suzuki, very short space of time. They'd been there once before, but you would doubt there would be much technology that they could bring across from their earlier endeavours into, the old two-stroke era. Aprilia has always been there, but this has been a crack in the four-stroke era, and they have not had a podium since, I think it was 2005.
Yeah, okay. That's incredible. Long time ago.
Yeah.
So he suddenly finds out that he's going to be the number 2 rider after all this work. Well, he had something different to say about that. And then, out of nowhere, Dovi, which I still can't believe Dovi got let go of. I mean, I didn't see... I thought that there was other development work being done. They got the ride height gear, and I'll talk about that a bit later. A lot of things have changed on the bikes in the last season, which have evened them up a lot. Dovi, got let go of, and now he's found himself riding for Yamaha. So, and you know what? Desmo Dovi's still got... I'll rephrase that. Vinales has still got championship points. If he does make it to the next round, potentially, now I'm not saying that he can, but potentially he can carry on with his championship chase. I mean, he's a long way off. Mathematically, I think it's impossible.
But you're right. He has accrued a few points.
He's currently in 7th spot.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, something dramatic. You would have to say, well, it's not just me. Bagnaia has conceded defeat. He's come forward and said Fabio's already won the title, referring to Quartararo. Now, Quartararo, in reply to that, said, I'll start thinking about the title after Misano. So the Flying Frenchman, being the real story of the MotoGP, he got out in front and he made a second in one lap.
Yeah.
It was just a phenomenal ride. He is... and you know what? This is a really exciting era. I've said this before, but you look at the guys. Number one, look at that race.
Yeah.
First top 6 positions, right? 1 to 6, 6 different manufacturers. I mean, how good are the guys at the FIM in achieving parity? That's just unbelievable. Formula One needs to look at what these guys are doing and maybe have a think about their program. And, look, although Quartararo's got a 65-point clear lead at the moment, have a look at the top 10. You got Yamaha, Suzuki, Ducati, KTM, Aprilia, all in the top 10. That's amazing, absolutely amazing. It shows how close everything is. Now, the defending champion, Joan Mir, had dramas with the front tyre, but you've got to understand that there's more to this story. This was the last race was the first race with the new ride height device, which all the other teams have had. So Suzuki's been lagging a little bit in catching up with the technology. Now that those guys have got it, you can see the performance, instantly. So they're in contention. Whatever went wrong with the tyre, I don't know whether that's a chassis issue that they need to look at. But it wasn't just him. There was a couple of riders that suffered on the front tyre. But yeah, it never ceases to put on a good show, the MotoGP.
You missed the elephant in the room, and this is the bit that I did see and it caught my eye, the Marquez incident
Yes.
with Jorge Martin. That was a shocker. And
Look,
I think as soon as it happened, I said to myself, yeah, you know what? You have been found out. That was a real dodgy move.
Yep. So he, in the press conference, he accepted responsibility. Then he denied responsibility. Then finally accepted responsibility. He did it with no prompting, mind you, by the reporter. And yeah, I believe that he has been found out because he would pull those manoeuvres off, in his past championship efforts and get away with it because the other rider would yield. But now he's got these young guns out there, particularly Martin, that are going, mate, I can not only keep up with your line, I can better it.
Yeah.
So, but once again, what did I predict at the last podcast? You're going to see a lot of Repsol, and it's going to be lying on its side, sliding off the track.
That was early in the race too, wasn't it? It was like, what was it, the first lap? Was it the first lap?
First or second lap.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure, but it may have been the first lap.
Yeah. No, I when I saw it, I thought to myself, well, not that I can't believe it, I do believe it. He's just been worked out. And look, I mean, we still think he's a great rider, but he has been doing that for a long time now.
He has.
Even the previous race, he did it. He didn't.
He muscles his way in and bullies people out of the way. These guys are genuinely fast now, And you've got to be honest. We discussed this after his accident, right? Honda were nowhere, were they? Nowhere to be seen. Then suddenly there's a shock revision. And there wasn't much said about the shock revision, right? Then all of a sudden all these teams have got this ride height device. He had a technological advance that they were keeping secret and they were keeping it only on his bike. And they had no choice but to release it to the other bikes. And then the rest of the teams, obviously went to Olin's and said, where's ours?
It was interesting race, and it was an interesting really weekend for Formula One and MotoGP. And once again, MotoGP coming out on top, as much as it pains me to say.
My favourite part of the race, the last couple of laps with Jack Miller and Alex. Alex wanted that just to prove I am the number one rider for this team. So, Hi Vinales, but I'm the guy that's developed this bike and I'm going to get you your first podium. Because, they've been yearning for that. And I guess the decision to go with Vinales was, that was a partial driver in that. And they had a great battle. It was unbelievable. They really, and that's the thing. There's always something in there. Whether it's a battle for first, second, third. I mean, at one stage, there was 6 riders that were in contention for the lead. And that's what's missing out of a lot of the other motorsports.
Yeah. No, most certainly. Anyway, what else have you guys been up to? What's been happening?
Work, Nick.
Work. I was going to say work.
I've been getting some work done on that 34. I've got all the rear section of the chassis all welded up, so... Start on the double frame rail, moving the pedals, a few other bits and pieces. Cool. We're getting there.
Yourself, Todd?
Been selling some cars and spray painting some other things.
Yeah, the Subaru's gone.
Yeah, the Subaru's finally gone.
Oh, really? Congratulations.
Yeah, I know, thank you. And ironically, it's now going to live in Australia 5 minutes from my auntie's house who reckons it was too loud. So she's more than impressed with that. So, but very happy owner.
So what's next, Toddles?
Well,
what's next?
Getting the Blademaster G finally on the road, and that's been my other project. Is that had a few paint scratches in it. I've actually been doing it myself. A panel beater wanted a couple of grand to even just look at it, and I went, no, sorry.
A couple of grand's cheap these days.
I know. Again, hey, we have
sort of cost to get a bonnet painted.
I'm about to say we have many panel beaters listen to us, and many of our friends are panel beaters, but. It was literally a
couple of grand to get a car detailed now, isn't it?
It is actually. Shout out to a few friends of mine that listen to detail cars. The other day I nearly fell off the chair with one of my mates who said, "Oh, I'll do you a favour, $500 to do a detail," and I went, "Pardon?" And he went, "Well, that's cheap. That's mates rates," and I went,
Yeah, but I mean, realistically, right? If it takes 10 hours to do it,
I know. So that's
it's only $50 an hour.
But so we learned to spray paint, and I was about to say a big plug to.
You probably get more than that for turning something on and off from
Turn off your modem.
Turn on your modem from an app
Yeah.
on your phone, and you're complaining about those guys that actually do physical work.
But shout out to well, hang on, I've got to get the name right. Hang on, because he's got about 14 different names.
I know you're going to name and shame him.
No. I'm actually saying thank you to somebody. Nathan at the car paint shop in Balcatta.
Oh, yep.
Nathan's a legend.
I have known Nathan for many years, and basically I walked in there and I showed him a photo, and he went, yep, you'll need this, and this. Come back if you need anything else, and on the money. And that was from a photo and a paint code. That was it. So
yeah, he's good. He's really good. He's matched my interior for the XW numerous times. That blue, that funny blue.
Oh yeah.
So he's done a really good job on that. Yeah.
So if you need some car paint stuff, Nathan will help you out. And I think
what's his father's name? His father.
I can't remember. And Nathan, I was about to say Nathan does listen. I think every now and then, and he's probably going to kill me for forgetting it. So.
He's good too. The father's equally good. They've moved to a new location.
Yeah,
give their address a plug there.
Oh, hang on, here
they're on Arundel Road now.
Yeah,
near Barbecues Galore.
Yeah, or Barbecue Bazaar or something it was called, wasn't it?
I think it's changed names again. But
let me find the address now. Hang on.
Opposite from UFC Gym on Balcatta Road.
Unit 12, number 30, Arundel Road.
Yeah. Anyways, when you get off the freeway from Arundel Road, turn right. Yep. And they're on the left. Can't miss them.
Yeah.
Great guys.
Yeah, and actually the new store is really good. The old store isn't a bit of a tricky location for them. Yeah. The new store is in a perfect location. They've got a spray booth out the back. You can hire a spray booth.
No, I saw that. Yeah.
They actually do spray painting lessons. Like you can go out there and learn how to, use a gun and how to mix paints and which are again. If you're a weekend warrior like me about spray painting, well worth the investment. Yeah. So. Yeah. No, definitely.
Hey, we need to shout out All Forward Day. We're going to be there. Are you going to be there?
I may need some babysitters. Your wife may be looking after my kids.
Yes, but we need to verify you.
I'll make it happen. Right? I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know how the cars are going to get there. I'm trying to catch up with Solomon so I can use his carpet. Something like that. Get him over there. If there's any towies that want to tow, let me know.
All right. Anyway, we'll XY at least. You can drive.
Both. They've got to be there.
Okay.
What do you need for the BA? A flatbed?
Just to con Trev up.
Oh.
Trev can pretty much... Trev and Dave, that's what we need.
Okay.
We need Trev and Dave.
Well, if you're listening, Trev and Dave.
Need to lock you in. What is it, 3rd of October?
3rd of October,
3rd of October.
Yeah.
So,
and your wife to look after my kids.
Yeah, all right, okay. All right, no problem.
We're going to have a little tent there, eh?
Yeah,
so we're not going to get sunburned.
No,
we'll have dehydration.
We'll get a block castle
kids will play with them.
Yeah. So, 3rd of October.
Yeah.
We've got some great cars on the stand. I'm not going to mention them yet. I'm going to leave it as a surprise.
Yep.
Well, you guys know anyway. You've seen the email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I'm looking forward to seeing him.
I know. I'm really looking forward to it. And all the cars are locked in as well, by the way, I must say.
Excellent.
Yep, they're all locked in. So 3rd of October, come down and see us. Make sure you come and say hello. We're going to be doing interviews all day.
A flatbed for the XY, and then I can take the wife's car with the kids in it.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I'm not even bringing my car either. Mine's been crossed off.
Oh, there you go.
Make way for better ones.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, mine has been that's no joke. Mine has been crossed off.
We've got a good spread.
I've crossed it off myself. So I'm looking forward to it. And our listeners, 88.5 FM listeners as well, head on down there. Come and say hello.
Yeah.
You're gonna go like car to car and do a...
I think we should, car to car. And there's a good cross there. We're going from 1969 to 2000, and I'll need to check, but I think it's 2014.
Wow.
Yeah. I need to check with that I can't remember if his is a 14 or a 15.
Yep.
There you go.
So check that out.
Yeah.
And trying to get as much in between as well. So anyway, look, it's a great and all-4 day. Still Blue Oval. Listen for the ads on 88.5 FM as well. But still Blue Oval.
Yeah, the Swannies.
No, say that.
I thought West Perth were in with a chance, and then this weekend it was what happened. I was pretty gutted, man. I was pretty gutted. But you know what I did learn? I always thought that Melbourne was red and black. It's actually red and blue.
Red and blue. Same song.
Same song.
Yep.
So
Keep your eyes on the red and blue.
I got to hear that at least once on the weekend.
You did. Did you know that?
No.
Do you guys know about the curse?
No, here we go.
The Melbourne curse.
The Melbourne curse.
No.
So I forget the guys. Oh, Norm Smith.
Yep.
There you go. They sacked Norm Smith, right?
Yeah.
64, I think it was.
Yeah.
And they haven't won a final since.
Yeah.
And they say it's the curse of Norm Smith. Some debate as to whether the curse will be broken this season.
I'll tell you what, the West Coast Eagles stamped the curse on them in 2018. I'll never forget that. Preliminary final at Optus Stadium. Melbourne went in as the favourites, and the Eagles
smashed them.
90-point thrashing.
That's right.
That day.
Yeah, unbelievable. And that's, verifies the curse.
Yeah. Take that. Keep your eye on the red and the blue.
It'll be interesting to see. Be good if they got up. I liked it when Richmond got up. That was
it was. In 2017, that was great for Richmond and their fans.
Do you remember you and I'm not going to mention the guy's name, but we were at the workshop.
We were working,
and he said, "It's just another final."
Yeah, no, just another game. And he was a Richmond fan.
Yeah.
What?
Come on, man! This is not just another final. Even Nick's usually pretty quiet, He was like,
Yeah, we won't say his name. He's probably listening.
No, he's a top bloke. It was really understated. Possibly didn't think they were going to win.
Yes.
That's
didn't
right.
want to get his hopes up.
Oh, no.
All right, guys. Well, look, we'll leave it there. And thanks for coming in again to another podcast. And thanks for tuning in on 88.5 FM or iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you get us on your podcasts.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll catch you in a couple of weeks' time.
Yep.
Talk to you soon.
Talk
See
and
you.
Power, your motorsport and motoring radio show. Now on 88.5 FM, The Valley Comes Alive. And podcasting across iTunes and talkandpower.com.au.